making the invisible visible, Black women 365 days of the year. Each day will spotlight a remarkable woman whose story has shaped Black, British or global diasporic history. Women whose achievements are too often overlooked. Through these daily short films, we create a living, breathing archive of leadership, creativity, resistance and legacy. Let's begin.
Hi, I am Yinglen Butt. Firstly, I'm a mother, a wife, a daughter, a sister, and grandmother. And professionally, I work as a nurse, and I've been a nurse for over 40 years, starting my training in the US and completing it in this country. And I've had the privilege to work strategically in this country as well as working internationally in other countries. And I am currently working with the Commonwealth Nurses and Midwives Federation, which involves working with a lot of Commonwealth civil society organisations across the Commonwealth. I love my job, and I've been very fortunate as a nurse not to have held traditional nursing roles that the public would consider a nursing role. But at the moment, what's really driving me is my work with the Commonwealth. And so no 2 day is the same. 1 minute I might be maybe meeting health ministers from across the Commonwealth. Another time I may be in a situation where I am meeting frontline clinicians in a Commonwealth country. So it varies and I love it. I love the opportunity to use my knowledge and skills that I've developed over a 40-year nursing career to support others in this country, but also internationally. So the big thing that influenced me was as a child growing up in Jamaica and seeing the inequalities, even at a very early age, that existed about the haves and the have-nots. So my background has been as a public health clinician, really wanting to influence change at a strategic level, but also frontline in working with people so that they're able to make healthy choices about how they live their lives. So my roles have also involved coaching and mentoring clinicians, international clinicians. And that's partly about recognizing that, particularly for our people of color in this country, the challenges they face in progressing in their careers. And so I coach and mentor. So one of my greatest delights is to see a clinician who I've coached over time go into very senior nursing roles. And similarly, seeing people develop and grow into being very confident clinicians within the challenges of the sphere of nursing. So whilst a nurse, I'm also an avid gardener. And this is something that people wouldn't necessarily know about me. I love gardening. I am obsessed with hostas, for anybody who knows about gardening and plants. And I actually grow edible flowers that I use in salads. And also I make nasturtium, which is a type of flower, pesto, which I give to family and friends. And that has shaped me because that's something that I remember growing up with, the plant, as a child, and over time have learned that actually you can use this to transform food and enjoy it. And so that in a way has impacted the way I lead my life, that not to put it in boxes, but to be willing to explore possibilities, because there are so many number of possibilities in the sciences which influence my work, and also in the creativity around the arts as a gardener, but also the arts that influence my work as a nurse. Something about me is that I am a relatively easygoing person, and people will think I'm a bit of a pushover, but actually I hold very strong values around my faith and also about equity and truth and justice. And so I am a quiet fighter. So I will get behind initiatives that will bring about good outcomes for individuals as well as broad groups of people. But also, actually, going back to my gardening thing, I also use that in my professional life because I recognize that the idea of gardening is one around not necessarily always knowing the territory or the terrain that you're working in, and having to learn and understand about soils and different plants, different needs, and the variety that exists, and very much using that around how I work with people, because we're working with a variety of people. So a strange thing around gardening, but it also interweaves with my professional life and integrally who I am as a person. Right. Okay, so the way in which I keep myself motivated, my faith is important to me. That is a strong influencer around how I lead my life. But also, as well, small wins is actually celebrating who I am as a person, the unique me. I often will say I am United Nations. My background, my name is a bit of a giveaway. Also, it's very obvious I'm Black, but for us as Black people, there's so much that makes us up. And I think that motivates me. But also, as well, reading memoirs around individual, that keeps me motivated. And a strong one was in the early 2000s, reading Condoleezza Rice's memoir. So she was the Secretary of State for the US, Black woman, and just reading her journey and the experiences she had as a child and a young person growing up, which then she brought into her career. The motivation from that was trust your journey, because the experiences that you have, good, bad, or indifferent, will all help to shape the person that you are for the situations that you find yourself in.
Thank you for joining us for today's story. Making the invisible visible is our commitment to ensuring that Black women's histories and contributions are recognised, valued and kept in daily circulation. Across 2026, we will continue to share these powerful narratives, 365 days of impact, brilliance and inspiration. Stay connected, join the conversation and help us champion the women whose journeys continue to shape our world. I'm Paulette Brooks and I'm looking forward to seeing you tomorrow for the next story.